Hey everyone, welcome back for another Next Grow Deep Dive. You know how this works? You send us the sources and we dig in.
Right, into them.
And today we are looking at something I think you're really interested in.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the future of mining jobs.
Absolutely. And especially given your focus on always learning and improving your skills.
Yeah, leveling up.
This is leveling up, yeah.
It'll be right up your alley.
Definitely.
What's really interesting here is the range of material that you sent.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got reports on like the hiring struggles that companies are facing. We've got nationwide workforce stats.
Oh, wow.
We've got trends in education.
Oh, really?
We even have some insights from mining CEOs.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So we've got a good overview here.
Yeah, a real 360-degree view.
Okay, so let's just dive right in.
Okay.
One thing that jumps out from every single source is this like major labor shortage that the mining industry is facing.
Oh, it's huge. One report even says that we will need to mine as much copper in the next 25 years as we have in all of human history.
That's a lot of copper.
That's crazy.
It really highlights the scale of the challenge.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
Oh, gosh.
think about this. The demand for battery minerals like lithium, graphite, cobalt, that's projected to explode like 21 to 42 times.
What?
Current levels by 2040.
Wow.
It's not just growth.
Yeah.
It's a total transformation of the industry.
Yeah, that's huge.
It is.
And this is all happening at a time when the U.S. is like really reliant on other countries for these minerals while our own mining workforce is shrinking.
Absolutely. And this has big implications, not just for the industry itself, but for like the technology and energy.
It's like future.
The future, general.
The world that you will be navigating.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, and we can't just blame it on the gray tsunami of retirements.
Okay.
Although that is a factor.
Yeah. One of the sources said 221,000 U.S. mining workers are going to retire by 2029.
Wow.
Which is a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger issue is the lack of new people entering the field.
I see.
Like, even top mining schools are seeing enrollments drop by 35%.
Wow. So it's not just people leaving. It's that less people are interested in mining in the first place.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
It is.
So if you were starting out now, what would make you want to work somewhere? Like, obviously, salary is important.
Yeah, of course.
But is that everything?
Right. Well, it seems like some mining companies haven't quite caught up with that.
Really?
Yeah, some of the sources are saying that they're still stuck in that, like old school mindset of just throwing money at the problem.
Oh, really? Just like...
Yeah, just thinking like, oh, a big salary will fix everything.
Gotcha.
But it's so out of touch with what younger generations are looking for.
Especially Gen Z.
Oh, totally. Especially Gen Z and millennials.
Right. They're all about purpose.
Yeah.
And values, making a difference.
Totally.
Can mining even compete with that?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's not really known for being eco-friendly.
Well, it's not. That's the real issue.
Yeah.
One of the studies found that 66% of Gen Z want careers that benefit their communities, and 59% want a positive environmental impact.
Right.
So mining definitely has an image problem.
Yeah, it does.
And to attract the talent that it needs, it's going to have to prove that it can do those things, like deliver on that desire.
For meaning and sustainability.
Exactly.
It's interesting, though, because the sources also say that mining is changing.
Oh, yeah, in a big way.
Like rapidly.
Yeah, all of this digitalization and automation. I mean, we're talking about data scientists, software architects.
Okay.
These are roles that wouldn't have existed in mining even a decade ago.
Wow. That's so interesting.
And now mining companies aren't just competing with each other. They're competing with like tech giants.
Yeah, like Google and stuff.
Exactly. And that means...
a whole different ballgame than it used to be.
And that means that reskilling and upskilling are super important.
I see.
Not just for people entering the industry, but also for people who are already in it.
I see.
The skills that got you this far might not be the ones.
They keep you there.
Exactly.
That's a really good point.
It's like what we talk about all the time here on Next Grow. Learning is a lifelong journey.
Yes, it is.
And especially in a field like mining, which is being reshaped by technology so quickly that continuous learning is key to staying ahead.
Yeah, and not just for the sake of a job, but also for your own growth and adaptability.
Exactly.
No matter what the future holds.
Whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's really good.
It is.
I like that a lot.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about the labor shortage.
Yes.
We've talked about how mining jobs are evolving and how we all need to be constantly reskilling and upskilling.
Absolutely.
But there's more.
There's more. There's always more.
Always more to the story.
Stay tuned.
All right, we'll be right back.
It's not even just about individual skills.
Right.
The sources also talk about company culture
Okay.
as being a really important part of attracting and keeping talent.
Yeah, totally.
Mining companies need to go beyond just like
a checklist.
Yeah, like ticking boxes on a job description.
Right.
And actually invest in
the people.
Yeah, in their workforce.
Yeah, creating that environment.
Exactly.
Where people feel like they can learn and grow.
Yeah, where it's encouraged, not just expected.
I see.
The companies that are doing well are the ones that are offering things like
what?
Training programs, clear career paths, a real focus on employee well-being.
Right,
things that make people feel valued.
Yeah, appreciated.
Yeah, and invested in.
Exactly.
A key part of that, too, is a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Especially for younger generations.
Right.
They want to know that their work is doing something good.
Yeah.
Not just making money.
Makes sense. If you're going to spend all that time and energy, you want to feel like you're making a difference.
Exactly. And some companies are realizing that they need to get creative to fill these talent gaps.
Oh, yeah. There was a whole section on that.
Yeah.
Mining for talent in unexpected places.
Yeah. One of the sources called it that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that.
What were some of the ideas?
Well, one thing was tapping into related fields.
Okay.
Like forestry, oil and gas, even construction.
I see.
People with experience in those areas might already have some transferable skills.
So it's not just about the specific job title.
Right.
It's about the underlying skills that can be moved around.
Yeah, it really reinforces that whole lifelong learning thing.
Totally. If you're willing to learn, you can go in some crazy directions.
You can.
And some companies are taking it a step further.
Yeah.
They're developing programs to upskill people in the local community.
Oh, yeah. That's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's providing jobs and boosting the economy.
Yeah. And it shows that mining companies can be a force for good in those places.
For sure. Not just extracting resources.
Right. And speaking of resources, we can't forget about the tech side of things.
Oh, of course not.
We were talking earlier about all those new digital roles in mining.
Right.
Like what specific technologies?
Well, there's a ton.
Okay.
We're talking autonomous vehicles.
Wow.
Drones for surveying and inspection. AI-powered data analysis.
Interesting.
Optimize pretty much everything.
So mining is becoming less about brawn and more about brains?
Yeah, exactly.
So someone with like a background in software engineering?
Yeah. Or data science could have a good career in mining.
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And it all ties back to reskilling and upskilling.
Right.
Even experienced mining professionals need to stay ahead of the tech curve.
Yeah, to stay relevant.
Right. It's not just about learning to operate a new machine.
Right.
It's about understanding how these technologies are changing everything.
It's about adapting
and
accepting that learning never stops.
It's a process.
Exactly.
Not a destination.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we talked about the labor shortage.
Yeah.
The changing nature of jobs.
Yeah.
The need for reskilling.
And upskilling.
Yes.
Constantly.
But one thing we haven't really talked about is that whole gray tsunami thing.
Oh, right.
Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, gray tsunami is just like a dramatic term that people use to describe all the baby boomers who are about to retire.
Oh, in all kinds of industries.
Yeah, in a lot of industries, including mining.
It's not just about the number of people leaving.
Right.
It's about all of the experience and knowledge
that they're taking with them.
Exactly.
So it's a knowledge gap.
Yeah.
As much as a labor gap.
That's a good way to put it.
Which makes it even more important.
Yeah.
To find and train younger workers.
Absolutely. Not just to fill the spots.
Right.
But to make sure that knowledge gets passed on.
Yeah, to the next generation.
Exactly. And it's not just about like...
hard skills.
Yeah, not just technical skills. It's about mentorship.
I see.
And creating a culture of knowledge sharing and collaboration.
Between the old guard and the new guard.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you risk losing all of that expertise.
And that can't just be replaced by reading a book. Nope. So mining companies have a lot to deal with.
They do.
Attracting new people.
Yes.
Reskilling the people they have. Managing this knowledge transfer.
I have a lot to juggle.
That's a lot.
It is. But the companies that do it well.
Yeah.
The ones that adapt.
And change their strategies.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that will not just survive, but thrive.
Well, what are some of the specific things they can do? Let me think.
We touched on a few, but were there any others that really stood out?
Yeah, one that came up a lot was transparency.
Transparency, okay.
Yeah, people are more and more interested in
Like where stuff comes from?
Yeah, where the products they use come from,
Right.
how they're made,
Okay.
the ethical considerations.
Yeah.
So mining companies need to be more upfront.
About everything.
Yeah, about their whole operation.
The good and the bad.
Exactly.
So it's not just about marketing.
Right.
It's about being honest about the challenges.
And the impacts and what they're doing about it.
So walk the walk.
Yeah.
Don't just talk the talk.
Especially for younger workers.
Yeah, they want to work for companies that share their values.
Yeah, not just offer a paycheck.
So it's about showing a real commitment
to
sustainability. Diversity and inclusion.
And ethical business practices.
It's about changing the story.
Yes.
About mining.
It's not just digging up rocks.
It's about playing a role in building a better future.
It is.
Powering new technologies.
Inner energy.
A more fair world.
Addressing big challenges.
That's the story.
Yeah.
That needs to be told.
And told authentically.
This deep dive has given me a new perspective on mining.
Me too.
It's not just hard hats and pickaxes anymore.
Right. It's about technology, sustainability.
It's a purpose.
Yeah. And it's an industry that, despite all of the challenges, has a lot to offer.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's a certain grit and resilience in mining.
Yeah.
Like a problem-solving mentality that's really valuable.
I see.
And with all of the technology, it's a really exciting time.
So for anyone listening who's thinking about a career in mining, what advice would you give them?
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
embrace the learning curve.
The learning curve.
Yeah. Mining is always changing.
Okay.
So you have to be ready to learn and adapt.
Throughout your whole career.
Your whole career, yeah.
Gotcha.
Whether it's new technologies, leadership skills, sustainability practices.
Yeah.
You have to keep learning.
And don't underestimate those soft skills.
Oh, like
communication, teamwork,
problem solving.
Those are important everywhere.
Everywhere, but especially in mining.
Yeah.
Where you have to work together and communicate clearly.
And don't be afraid to explore.
Yeah.
Mining is a huge field.
It is.
With all kinds of opportunities.
You could do engineering,
geology,
finance,
IT,
even marketing.
Wow.
Find what you're interested in.
And go for it.
Exactly. It's about finding the right fit where your skills and your interests meet the needs of the industry.
You might even discover something you never knew you loved.
It happens.
All the time.
And like we said, mining companies are looking in new places. Yeah. So don't be discouraged if you don't have a traditional mining background. Right. Just show them what you can do. Yeah. Show them you're willing to learn.
And that you care.
You might be surprised what happens.
So for anyone ready for a challenge, the future of mining is full of opportunities.
It really is.
This is an industry that's shaping the world.
Yeah.
Literally.
From the materials in our technology to the resources for a sustainable future.
It's evolving and innovating and redefining itself.
For the 21st century.
I like that.
It's true.
Okay, so we talked about the challenges.
We did.
But we can't forget that challenges also bring opportunities.
That's right.
And one of the biggest opportunities is for mining to
reinvent itself.
Yeah, redefine its image.
Yeah, its role in the world.
Exactly. One of the sources called it an inflection point.
Oh.
Like things could go back to the old ways.
Right.
Or they could change completely. And a lot of it depends on whether mining can get rid of its old image.
Yeah, and become something new.
Something that attracts people who are passionate
about tech sustainability. Making a difference.
We've gone from talking about a gray tsunami to maybe a green wave of new workers.
That's a huge change.
It is, but it won't happen on its own.
So what can companies do?
To show they're serious.
Yeah.
Well, transparency is a big one.
Again.
Yeah.
Be open about the environmental challenges.
And what you're doing to fix them.
It has to be more than just words.
Yeah. Actions speak louder than words.
Invest in new technologies.
That are better for the environment.
Work with local communities.
In a real way.
Yeah.
Make sure your workers are safe.
These are important.
They are.
And when it comes to hiring, you can't just post a job and call it a day.
No, you have to be more creative.
What were some of those creative ideas?
Well, one was partnering with universities.
Okay.
To offer internships that focus on tech.
Exactly. Show people the modern side of mining.
And there was that idea of reaching out to veterans.
Oh, yeah.
People with skills from the military.
Right.
Could be a great fit.
They could.
And what about people from the fossil fuel industry?
Oh, yeah. As those jobs disappear,
Right.
there's a whole pool of talented people
Yeah.
who could find a new purpose in mining.
It's about seeing potential
Exactly.
where others might not.
And helping people find their place.
So to bring it back to our listener,
Yeah.
someone who clearly cares about learning and growing, what's the big takeaway here?
That the future of mining is tied to the future of learning.
I like that.
Whether you're thinking about getting into mining, or you're already in it, or you're just interested in it.
You have to keep learning.
You do.
Adapting.
Yeah.
Embracing change.
That's the key.
It's like they say the only constant is change.
It's true.
And in an industry like mining, that's especially true.
But that also means there's a ton of opportunity.
Okay.
If you like to learn,
Yeah.
and you want to do something that matters,
Yeah.
mining might be for you.
And that's what Next Grow's all about.
Yeah.
Helping you learn and grow.
And make good choices about your future.
All right. So to wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
if you're interested in mining,
Yeah.
don't let those old stereotypes hold you back.
Right.
Do your research.
Explore different options.
And most importantly,
Never stop learning.
never stop learning.
The future depends on it.
The future of mining and the future of our planet.
That's right.
It really feels like we're at a turning point, you know?
Yeah.
Not just for mining jobs,
Right.
but for like the whole industry.
Like how people see it.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the sources even called it an inflection point.
Oh, yeah.
Like that moment
Where it could go either way.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes down to
Or-
whether mining can change its image
and become something new.
that attracts people who really care about.
This is tech making a difference.
We've gone from talking about a gray tsunami
Yeah.
to like a green wave of new workers.
That's a big shift.
It is.
But it's not going to just happen magically.
Yeah.
So what can companies actually do?
To show they're serious.
Yeah.
Well, transparency is a big one.
Okay.
Like we talked about before.
Yeah.
Being open about the environmental challenges
Yeah.
and the steps they're taking to address them.
Honesty and authenticity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for Gen Z.
Right.
They can see right through.
The BS.
Yeah. But it can't just be words.
Right.
It has to be backed up by action.
So like what kind of actions?
Well, investing in technologies that are better for the environment.
Okay.
Working with local communities in a genuine way.
Yeah.
Making sure workers are safe.
Those are all good.
They are.
And then there's hiring.
Right? You can't just post a job.
And hope for the best.
Nope. What were some of those creative ideas we saw?
Oh, yeah. Like partnering with universities.
To offer internships that focus on tech.
Showing the modern side of mining.
Yeah.
And reaching out to veterans. People with skills from the military.
Right.
Could be a good fit.
And those people from the fossil fuel industry.
Yeah.
As those jobs go away.
There are a lot of skilled workers who could find a new purpose in mining.
It's about seeing the potential.
Yeah.
Where others don't.
And helping people find their place.
So to bring it all back to our listener.
Okay.
Someone who's obviously interested in learning and growing.
Yeah.
What's the key takeaway?
I think it's that the future of mining is tied to the future of learning.
I like that.
Whether you're thinking about a career in mining or you're already working in it or you're just curious about it.
You have to keep learning.
You do.
Adapting to new technology.
Yeah.
Embracing change.
That's the key.
The only constant is change, right?
That's true.
And especially in mining.
Yeah, but that also means there's a lot of opportunity. If you like to learn new things and you want to do something that matters, mining might be a good fit.
I think that's a great takeaway.
Yeah.
And that's what Next Grow is all about.
Yeah.
Helping you learn and grow.
And make smart choices about your future.
So to wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
if you're interested in mining, don't let those old ideas hold you back.
Right. Do your research.
Yeah.
Explore different options.
And most importantly,
never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
The future depends on it.
The future of mining and the future of our planet.
That's right.
That's a great place to end it, I think.
I think so too.
Thanks for joining us for another Next Grow Deep Dive.
And keep learning, everyone.